Let's create some synths for a metalcore song from scratch. I'm still jet-lagged from NAMM. I'm not capable of creating a very detailed and deep thought-out video, but it is my duty to give you some value this week. So I decided to get Northlane multitracks, which were available online, and score them with synths from scratch, and we can go through this process together. This is unplanned, improvised. Let's have some fun. This gets a hell's yes from me. Hey, I'm Dr. Trubetskov, and I'm here to bring valuable information on recording, producing and mixing metal. So mate, please like and subscribe and share this video so that the value travels around and more people learn about the cool things. Let's go! The multitracks were available at the Ultimate Stem Share Facebook group. This here by Jackson Latham. And we're working with Northlane exposure. I dropped these multitracks into my template, tweaked it a bit. I found a 1 minute long fragment, which seems to complete the song in a nutshell. And we can experiment by layering synths into this progression here. I have copied over the chorus to the end of this though, so that we have a more full representation of the song. Let's take a listen. I'm not sure whether the guitar tones are the best yet, but I believe this will be more than sufficient for our task of scoring this. By the way, if you find this sound great, please let me know and I will make a video where I will walk you through from step 1 to completion of creating such a project with multitracks downloaded online. Let me know in comments if this is of interest. This is one of my ideas. Let's get to this. You would like to go with your gut feeling about each section. What does it feel to you and what would you like to emphasize in it? So let's go through each and take some notes. In this here, this sounds like an atmospheric section to me, which can benefit from extra depth and space and sort of more hollow kind of weirdness to it to create a more anxious feel and build, because this is the tension section, let's call it this way, and then we have a breakdown, which is the explosive beat of the song. This is a more straightforward process because you can just mirror those guitars with synths for extra fatness, and we'll do that in a second. And then in the chorus here, guitar melody, which will be very cool to replicate with a synth and give it extra depth and color. Let's try it. I went into the library of my presets and I found this one here. When listening to this section, how do I properly put it? If I mute those lead guitars, okay, that guitar riff is driving, and that drive to me associates with a cosmic flight, kind of a spaceship lift-off sort of vibe. And that to me is the sound of this. At least to begin with. let's track that in and tweak it accordingly and see how it blends. And let's do, at the end of it, a little drop. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with what this allows us to achieve in terms of the feeling, but maybe let's tweak this preset some so that it sort of flanges and creates more of that cosmic atmosphere for us. So solo that out. Maybe in order for the modulation to happen, let's add a second filter and modulate that. Cool. Let's add some flanger. I'm happy with that. Moving on. There is a melody here which we want to play. Let's find a synth that can cut this mix. Not this one. That kind of thing we can aim for if we are after some big current Northlane leads, and I would like to try achieving that. Nope. Yeah, almost there. Sweet. Remove the ending and quantize it because I'm late, and I'm late because there is a lot of latency coming in my system. It's just an overlook on my side. I'm enjoying how this sounds so. I'm happy with this fragment. Let's move on to the breakdown. If you're enjoying this video so far, and if you want more information and maybe some of those synth presets as well, please sign up to my mailing list via the link in description. This will lead you to an expressions of interest page, a waitlist for the full blown out synth course, which we are currently finishing with Christian Kolle Audio Cult, in which I will go so much deeper in creating those sounds and applying this to a full production. So don't wait for it. Go for it! Link in description. Oh, this nasty breakdown. Let's grab the MIDI information from the bass and drop it somewhere on a synth track. Let's see how that sounds. Doesn't sound too bad, but I don't think it will help. However, let's take a listen. I don't mind these modulations. Right now what I'm trying to depict is how experimentation can lead you to unexpected and cool ideas. This doesn't sound right at the start of the breakdown, but thinking of its structure as a whole, as we've analyzed before, and I've put a marker that in the second half of once a pitch shifted synth was some sort of build happening. Now this modulating synth could serve really well as a building element. Here we do want it to modulate like crazy though, so let's go in and fix it. And in the first half we'll address the synth differently. Take a listen. This thing is the LFO that modulates all of the parameters in this synth, creating this moving effect. Let's drop this to move faster. Maybe it's a bit better, but still not there. This is much better. So all I'm doing right now is I'm just dropping this LFO to modulate some moving parameters. This is not exactly what I aimed for, but it sounds pretty cool. Let's take a listen in the context. I don't mind it. Maybe it could be a bit better if I spent more time on this, but it does add the effect that I deserved for, which is good. Next up is our main synth that follows the guitars. Let's see what we can achieve. Find a different preset. I like this one because it gives me the metallic edge character, which inspires me to emphasize it some more with guitar distortion for this synth. Yet, the duration of this synth is too long, it's too muddy. We have to make it more percussive. Let's try that. I'm happy with that. By decreasing the decay and the release of the envelopes that are responsible for the ADSR of the sound, you can achieve shorter or longer tone accordingly. Now, let's grab Pliny and distort it and see how that sounds. So this is a stereo synth, which is sort of wrong. You want two dual mono synths. After some manipulations and humanizing this second performance, we sound like this in the breakdown. I think they sound sick as. For this second part of the breakdown, we wanted to introduce a build. So what you can do is you can duplicate this main line that follows the guitars and add a modulating sort of synth. I will not go into too much detail on creating the sound. I'd rather just provide it to you. But essentially what is happening is you have this LFO2 synced to two full notes, modulating a lot of parameters in the synth, creating the desired movement. And in order to explore which parameter is the best in order for you to achieve this movement, all you can do is just move it. So this sounded sick, and I would not mind modulating this, and so I am. If you go ahead and find all the parameters that are responsible for the flanging, modulating sound that you like, you can then assign the modulator and have that. And as a second layer here, something very cool that you can experiment with is this kind of glitching, panning tremolo synth. I believe that this is very current in modern metal productions, particularly with guitars and guitar leads, something dissonant that jumps on and off. And the way you achieve it is you have a synth doing this, which I will supply to you. You don't have to even modulate it this much, but then the important bit is you add a tremolo effect on the 16th note, as well as a panna, synced to 16th notes as well. And this creates this very disturbing, tense atmosphere that helps to lift this section up. Essentially, I'm playing a semitone here. Very much like you do with your guitar, semitone dissonant interval. Let's consider this final chorus section. Take a listen to it again. I'm envisioning an epic, massive tone for this chorus, and in order to do that, you want to add more vibrancy to your synth tracks. And that vibrancy comes from emphasizing the harmonic context of your section. In this instance, I decided that we could try exploring some epic choirs. To me, the way you can achieve this is play around with the voicings and the notes that fit into the harmonic context as mentioned. This idea. You can bounce off by finding that root note and that note progression and playing it on the keyboard, and then thinking about which interval would fit into this scale. In this case, it is a fifth, which in heavy music is the foundation of a power chord, and therefore it's likely to fit. Then we have a third, which you have to consult with the original scale and see whether it's a major or minor scale, and bounce off that third accordingly. And then minor third again, fifth. It's easy, but that sort of voicing almost serves as a backing vocal line when you create backings or similar layers, maybe melodic background guitar. And adding that helps to add that vibrancy. Let's take a listen now with it in the mix. I'm enjoying this so much. I hope you like this too. And the second idea that you can explore for such a chorus, if you want this to sound insanely massive, is the following. You could mirror that lead guitar melody with a synth once again. Yet, in order to do so, you need the accurate MIDI. And I did not want to learn this by ear because this would have taken me forever. So, actually, here's a method which you can follow, and it works apparently. You go into Google and go Audio to MIDI AI online, and find a list of AI transcribers that drop your audio into MIDI. I came up with this website here, music2midi.com, and I dropped this file, and it actually quite accurately spit out what it had to. Once I imported it, though, this MIDI line, it sounds like this now. Sounds like AI music, right? I know, because it does introduce mistakes as well. So you have to go ahead and clean this up, but once you do, in the mix, finally, let's move in and add the finishing touch, the risers and the drops. As you browse through libraries, you may come onto some accidents that sound sick. could continue doing this forever, but I gotta stop here for this demonstration, and I hope that you find these ideas valuable and inspiring for your workflow. It's time to listen to this whole production and hopefully enjoy it. Let's do it. This gets a hell's yes from me. I wanted to thank you for sticking with me for this video. As you know, this was not planned. I didn't do anything beforehand. I had to come up with all of these ideas on the fly with you. Therefore, this video is so long, this is experimental. I usually cut all of the things down. But today, since we were improvising, I think there was a lot of value in those ideas that we have explored together. So, I hope you find it valuable and I hope that you enjoy it. Please do let me know in comments if this is such. I'm Dr. Mike Trubetskov. I'm really grateful to have you here. Until next time, take care and cheers.